Hello, my friend Evan Scoresby here with howtowithevan.com, and in this video we are going to continue our training on how to use solo ads. This is part number 4, and specifically where to find solo ad vendors. And so just a few things that we'll be discussing and just give you a quick introduction. There are a ton of places to find solo ad vendors online. They're all over the place, and so if you just do a simple Google search for solo ad vendors, a lot of these options come up. But you want to make sure that you use the strategies that we taught in part number 3. So if you haven't watched that yet, we have a link in the description below where you can see the different parts of our training. There's also a playlist on my channel that you can access with that. But you want to make sure you use the strategies in part number 3 so you can determine if these solo ad vendors that you find online are trustworthy and they provide a good quality of service and traffic. And so in this training, we'll be showing you how to find these vendors and also go through and show you some ones to stay away from, okay? Because I've already vetted some of these and found that their traffic is not very good, okay? And there's a lot out there, but some of these are ones that are very popular that keep coming up. And so first, solo ad marketplace is what I want to talk about. So this is great for beginners, and this is one of the most popular places to buy solo ads is through what's called marketplaces and a company called Udemy, okay? Now, there is a shortcut to Udemy in the description below this video, and so you can just click on that link and it'll take you right to their website, and we're going to demonstrate this here in just a minute. But there are actually hundreds of different vendors that are available on Udemy, okay? And you can go through and search for different profiles, you can filter results, you can even message the vendors and ask them those questions that we talked about in the previous training and find out a little bit more about their list. And they also have several different niche options that are available. So depending on what your niche is, so if you're looking for something in the make money from home space, maybe looking for a targeted list for cryptocurrencies or marketing or even health, they have some of these different niches that are available there. So I want to just walk you through real quick and just show you Udemy and give you just a quick tutorial and show you some of the things that I personally look for when I'm searching Udemy for vendors. Okay, so let's pull up the internet here. So once you click the link in the description below, it'll prompt you to create a free account. And so you just have to sign up, put in your name and email address, hit sign up, and then it will take you to, and you can log into your account here. But when you log in, it'll look something like this. You probably won't have your picture in there. I've uploaded mine. But right up here at the top center, it has this option here where you can find sellers, okay? So if you click on find sellers, it pulls up all of these different options below, okay? I'm going to reset this filter so we can walk through this together. So you can see, there's 936 different sellers, right? Online at this moment, there's 48 sellers online currently. But up here in this filter option is where we can kind of break down and look at different options and, kind of chunk down on who we want to work with. And so with solo ads, it is a price per click. So you can specify how much you want to pay per click. And so this price max feature that offers as low as 5 cents a click and all the way up to $2 a click, right? I would personally stay away from anything that's under 30 cents a click, or no, actually 40 cents a click. So anything under than 40 cents a click is usually, I kind of usually stay away from that. 30 to 40 cents a click, right? So if you just specify the max that you want to pay, and just so you know, just because it's a higher price per click doesn't necessarily mean that it's a better quality of click. I recently did a solo ad promotion where I chose 5 different vendors on Udemy promoting one offer, and I just bought 200 clicks from each of these vendors, and I was testing out the offer that I was promoting, but I was also testing out the vendors. And so each of them had their own unique tracking link, which we'll talk about later. So I could properly track to see which vendors were giving me the results, right? And I got some that were like 40 cents a click, 60 cents a click, 95 cents a click. So I kind of spread it out, and I found that, the person that I bought 90 clicks for 95 cents ended up being the worst performing of what I was promoting. And the one that was 40 cents a click ended up being the best. And so it just depends. And so not all traffic is created equal. So don't think that you have to, choose a higher click amount in order to get a better quality of lead. And so for people who are just starting out, for beginners, I would recommend maybe just starting out with a max of 50 cents a click. So spend anywhere from 40 to 50 cents a click. So I'm going to choose 50 cents here. And then niche, all niches. This is all the different niches that you can look up, right? So if you're doing anything in the marketing space, finance, health, mobile, social, crypto, right? For most people who are watching this video, you might be promoting something related to marketing, like make money from home, business opportunities, that sort of thing. And so I'm going to demonstrate with using marketing, okay? And then they have this option for ratings. And so there's lots of ratings. Like if you look right down here, this Patrick guy, he has over 1,900 ratings, meaning people have bought solo ads from him in the past and left us a rating, a review of the service. And so that high of a amount of ratings means this guy's probably been around a while, and he's very experienced. So that has some pros and cons with the amount of ratings they have. Sometimes I like to look for people who have a smaller amount of ratings because they're kind of maybe newer to the space and they're a little bit more eager to provide a good positive result, rather than the ones who've maybe been in it for a long time and their goal is just to get as many clicks as possible just to make money by monetizing their list and selling solo ads, right? So when I'm looking for ratings, I want to look for at least, I usually set it to about 50 or higher. Yeah, so you don't want it somebody like a brand new who doesn't have any history, but that might have some merit. But personally, I look for at least a 50% or 50 plus rating. Now this other option here where it says got sales. So this just means that people who have used different solo ad vendors, they have come back and reported that they have received sales as a result of buying a solo ad from a particular person. And so that's always a good sign, buyers who are buying the product that you're promoting. That's what we want. We want buyers. But this doesn't guarantee that you're going to get any sales. Okay. But I do like to, show at least 10% or sales or higher to look at, people who are reporting getting sales, as that may become a possibility for us. And then there's some other filter options. If we click this down arrow, we can choose, starts within. This is a fast traffic source, in my opinion, where we want to get results within 24 to 48 hours. And so if we come here, I like to choose within 48 hours. I want the ad to go out quick. I want to see results fast. I don't want to wait for them, right? So I want it to start within 48 hours. You can select the main traffic source. So if you want just all traffic coming to the United States, or all, I usually just leave this all countries, and all languages, all countries. I don't really change anything else other than that. Okay. So with this specification, you can see there are 48 sellers that meet this criteria. 22 are online at this moment. Okay. So now we have this list of vendors that we can start looking through and seeing a little bit more about them. These top ones are promoted, meaning they've probably paid to get their listing here at the top of the list. That again doesn't mean that you have to use them. Okay. In fact, I would probably go below it. So here you just start going through and looking at different vendors. Now the ones that I show you here and I just kind of look through together with you doesn't give you my stamp of approval that says you should use this person, right? This is just a review. You'll need to do your own due diligence and research according to the information and things that we taught about in part number 3 to select a trustworthy solo ad vendor, which is going to require more than just looking at their profile, because we want to be able to message them too, right? And you'll be able to message them and contact them and ask them those questions. Okay, but let's just take this top one here, for example, this Gary Writing. Okay, I don't know anything about him. I've never used him before personally. I'm just going to look at his profile and give you an idea of what it looks like, right? So right just on this summary, it has 42 cents per click. They're reporting 81% of sales. That's a really, really high number, which a lot of these are reporting really high numbers, which is interesting. but also has the amount of ratings, 321 positive that are in green, 9 in negative, right? So there's some people who reported not a good experience with this vendor, right? But this says 95% T1 minimum. So there's some abbreviations and acronyms on here that you might need to be aware of. When it says T1, that means Tier 1, meaning 95% of their traffic is coming from Tier 1 countries, which stands for, which include like the United States, Canada, United Kingdom, Europe, not all of Europe, United Kingdom, New Zealand, Ireland, Australia. Those are some of the top tier English-speaking countries, which is where you want most of your traffic to come from. So 95% Tier 1, that's good. Always largely over-deliver. My list is full of fresh quality, high top-tier subscribers. BizOp, so this is business opportunities. IM stands for internet marketing. MMO stands for make money online. So that's just talking about his niche and what his subscribers are interested in. So if I click on his profile, I can go in and maybe find a little bit more information, which doesn't have a lot of more information right here. Okay. But you can come down here and scroll through the profile. You can start looking at the ratings and see what other people have to say. And again, using those strategies taught in part 3, you can contact maybe some of these people who have used this person and get some more details on their experience, right? And so let's go back and just look at another person from this filter. Let's scroll down. Let's do, I don't know, let's look at Kevin Hansen. Okay. I don't know Kevin Hansen either, but just on their profile, again, I wanted to go in. So here's a good example where they have a little bit more detailed profile information in introduction and experience. 10 to 20% over delivery. What that means is if you order 200 clicks, you're probably going to get 220 clicks, 240 clicks because they over deliver on what you actually order. 90% minimum of traffic from the highest buyers, right? Pure email traffic, no pop-ups, no sneaky pop-ups, no bots. So that's important, no bots. Only unique clicks are counted, so it gives some good additional information here. So that's basically how you use Udemy to go through and find different solo ad vendors. And again, messaging them, I'm finding out some of those questions, right? Down here, if you decide on select a solo ad vendor, like if you wanted to do this Kevin Hansen guy, for example, you just select the amount of clicks, and he can do anywhere from 100 clicks up to 1,000 clicks. And depending on how many clicks, he has 2 orders pending for 1,000 clicks or more, which is a good indication. But you can select the amount of clicks. So whenever you're testing something out for the first time, you want to just order the minimum amount, 100 clicks per page that you're testing. Okay. And then you just you can choose the option, just put in your link that you want to promote, or you can choose link and text. Okay. So if you choose add text, you can actually compose and write out the email. So it's putting in one that I did a while ago. So you can compose the email and link it up with your link, and they would send out this email for you. But if you just want to provide the link and the vendor write the email themselves, that's fine too. And again, you would work with the vendor to see what would be the best option for you and what you're promoting. All right. So that is just a quick summary of solo ad marketplaces. And again, there's a link in the description below if you want to go check it out and sign up for a free account. Okay. Now, second way to find solo ad vendors that I want to talk to you about is something called solo ad directories. And this is more of an intermediate level of solo ads, in my opinion. And so just as there are directories for phone numbers, there's also directories for list owners. And you can there's a company called Nexmarc that's right at the top of this list, for directories. So again, there's a shortcut to Nexmarc in the description below. And this is where you can find really the perfect list of potential customers, because they have a lot of demographic data also that you can select and choose from to hone in on the perfect type of list and target market and target audience that you want to get in touch with. And you can also get all types of different contact data. So just not you can get information, not just sending out an email. That's what we're going to be focusing on, is solo ad buys, where they send out an email on your behalf. But if you wanted to also get phone number information or physical address information, maybe you want to do a postcard campaign, they have those options that are available. So there's a lot of different varied demographic options here. And so let's actually go here to Nexmarc's website. So again, it's just nexmarc.com, and click the link in the description that will take you there. And so this is just a directory list, right, for list owners. And there's actually, if it says here, I thought there was there's tens of thousands of different lists out there. Okay, but right here where it says looking for mailing lists, you just click on here, and then you can turn in, just do a keyword search, right? So if you are promoting some type of weight loss product, right, and you want to find a list of people who are interested in losing weight or who have shown an interest in losing weight, right? So we can just type in search for weight loss and hit enter, and we'll just select all markets. You can choose business or consumer if you'd like. But since I just searched weight loss here, it's showing has over almost 7,000 different weight loss mailing lists found. Okay, that's a lot, right? So it comes up with all of these different options of all these different list owners. Okay, and so you can just start going through and looking at a little more information. And again, what I'm demonstrating here, again, does not give you my stamp of approval. That you should select this option. This is just for demonstration purposes. So just because I'm showing it here on the screen doesn't mean that you should go and use this particular list. In fact, I recommend that you don't, because if everybody who did that, who's watching this video, and who have watched it or will watch it, and if they all go do the same thing, it's not going to be very effective. Okay. But just for this example, right, here's diet and weight loss respondents in a specific location, North Carolina, right? Daily Deal, Diet Depot, weight loss responders with postal and email, right? And it tells you what their list size is over here. So 9 million. Let's select that one. So if we click on it, it tells you just a little bit more information about their database, their list. It has information down here about their segments. So they have 9 million total universe base rate. They have consumer, has different options for different channels. So mailing list, has email list, telephone, and it has even texting, options that are available. But the kind of, if you wanted to get in touch with this particular list owner, they just don't give you all the information right here. You have to submit a request. So you come down here, click on get more information if this is somebody that you would like to use. It does have ordering instructions here usually too. So make sure you follow the ordering instructions. But to order this list, contact the list broker, ask, for Nexmarc. I don't think this has been updated. I don't think you have to do this anymore. 5,000 name minimum order, gives you some minimums, 375 minimum payment, right? So it gives you some, requirements here. So if I wanted to get more information on this particular list, I just click get more information, and it takes me to this form that has this list ID number. I just put in my contact information, fill out this form, and your needs. When you're specifying your needs, you want to find people with list owners that will send an email on your behalf. So they will send the email through their system promoting your offer instead of them sending you an email list for you to email it. Okay, we don't want to do that. You don't want to buy a list. Okay, we want the list owner to send out the email for you. So when you're contacting them and using this particular method, you want to specify that you want them to send out the advertisement or ask about that and just see how it works. If that's not an option, then don't use that vendor. Okay, you want to find ones that will send an email out on your behalf instead of them just providing you a list of names for you to email. Because if they provide you a list of names for you to email in your own autoresponder service, then most likely that autoresponder service you're using will probably shut you down because they don't allow those type of imports and leads into your autoresponder. So just be careful of that. Okay, but with this method, you just fill out your information and send the request, and then they will contact you and you'll get in touch with them where you can start the discussion. And again, use those methods taught in part 3 to find more about their list. Another thing you want to look at, and this is for everything, some other questions that we didn't cover in part number 3 is, looking at asking what their average open rate and their average click rate is. And that will help you have an indication of how responsive their list is as well. Okay. But pretty simple to do, but it takes a little bit more research and contacting and finding and working with individual list owners through this directory service. And so that's kind of why it's an intermediate level, because it's a little bit more advanced, we have to do a little bit more work, and get in touch with these vendors. With, Udemy, for example, it's just easy. You just go and find it and just order it all right through the system. Okay. All right. So that is directories. Next, I wanted to go over quickly on solo ad direct buys. And this I put as a more advanced type of level because most people aren't willing to do this because it does take some time, energy, and effort. And it is simple to do and effective if you do it. But what's also simple to do is also simple not to do. This is probably my favorite method of finding solo ads, is using a direct buy. And what that means is direct buys are just all about finding and going to site and blog owners directly, without a middleman, right? So you want to, find people who have maybe huge brands, who may be influencers in their space, in your niche, who have maybe a blog with a dedicated loyal following, where they maybe have tens of thousands of visitors to their month to their website, and they have a huge mailing list that they have, where people even have confirmed opt-ins where people are highly engaged on their list. So again, it's simple and effective to do this, and you simply use Google to find this information and to find these different blog owners and site owners who have these influencers that are on there. And I'm going to show you like in a couple of examples here. But one tool that we might want to use is this Google or similar pages. It's a Chrome extension. So when you're looking up different blog owners and blog sites out there, you can use this Chrome extension to find similar pages to the ones that you're looking at. Okay. And so let's actually, walk you through this process a little bit and show you what I mean by this. So I'm just going to go and open up Google and just do a search. Okay. Now, again, we don't want to do a search for, just solo ads. Okay. I'm going to open up an incognito window here. We just don't want to do a search for solo ads, okay? Because if we're just doing a search for solo ads, it means that, you're only going to get results from people who are actually advertising and using that type of method. So they're kind of in the business already to sell their service. We kind of want to find people who maybe offer it, but they don't publicly advertise it all over the internet. You have to kind of find it, okay? And so, for example, if I'm going into, if I want to search like the weight loss niche, or work from home niche, I could do something like work from home blogs. Okay. So you want to add the word blog at the end to start finding some of these. And so some walk through here, like top 80 work from home blogs and websites to follow in 2022. Top blogs by people who work from home. Best work from home blogs, work from home woman, the work from home woman, and so we can choose any of these to start out. Let's just choose this work at home woman as an example. Kind of caught my attention. Okay. So we go to their blog, and usually on their blogs or websites, if they do offer some type of advertising, they might have it somewhere on their website. And so up here, accept the cookies. So they do have an option right up here at the top where it says advertise. Sometimes it might be in the very bottom as well, where you can choose some options for, depending if they offer any advertising type of information. Okay, but if you click on advertise, it shows you what their advertising options are. So for this particular person, the Work at Home Woman is award-winning career resource, more than just another blog, advertising and sponsorship opportunities. So they offer a premium banner. So if you want to put a banner on their website, like these are banners over here on the right. So people are paying $200 a month just to have their banner show up on the website, it looks like. So that's an option. Business opportunity listing. List your direct sales or franchise opportunity in the BizOp marketplace. Standard job posting, premium job posting, sponsor a contest, sponsor a blog post, sponsor review, newsletter ad. Oh, look at this. Dedicated email. Okay, this is what we're looking for. A dedicated email. A newsletter mailing dedicated to your business. This copy is written by the sponsor, includes 400 to 1,000 words of text, 2 images, and unlimited links. 41,000 of warm subscribers, right? And so they do offer, this is basically a solo ad. They call it a dedicated email, but they offer something like that. And they have all these other options too of different ways that you can advertise on their site. They also can do a newsletter ad. They write a weekly newsletter, where you can have an advertisement in their weekly newsletter, something like that, right? But this is just an example. So you contact these blog owners, look for advertising opportunities on their website. And even if they don't have it publicly advertised that they offer advertising, they still might. So that's where you can find their contact information. This one has contact information up here. And it gives you different options of how to contact them so you can inquire about their service. But also, if they don't have an option on their website about advertising, you can ask them, and hey, I'm interested, I'm really, like your blog, I'm interested in maybe doing some advertising with you and like to get in touch and find out what are some options, right? And that's where you can start a dialogue to be able to get in touch with these owners of these blogs that have these dedicated, warm followers, to start advertising with them. And for some, they might not even have thought about monetizing their blog in any way or their email list. And so by you starting a dialogue with them could start that discussion, and it could lead to a very prosperous relationship, right? And so speaking of, let me go to, I wonder if I don't know, it has it in incognito. Let me come back here out of incognito and come here directly to their website, show you this Google similar pages. So if I wanted to see other, blogs or websites like this one, there's this Chrome extension, that has this similar pages. I think it's called Similar Web. I think that's the one. So if I click on that extension, it should come up with some options that shows different information about the website. This is good information too. Similar Web shows you their country rank. They're 54,512 in the United States of the top most visited websites. Shows you monthly visits, 340,000 monthly visitors, right? Most of it's coming from the United States, other traffic sources. You can get more insights here. Maybe I don't have Similar Web. Oh, here it is, Similar Pages. So let's choose this one right here that says Google Similar Pages. It's another one that I use. So this will come up with other options that you could go to. Okay, the Work at Home Wife, the Work at Home Woman, Facebook, Real Ways to Earn Work, Work at Home Revolution, the Work at Home Wife. If I select that one, it'll take me to their website. And so I can look to see, again, if they have different advertising options. And so, again, this is one of my favorite ways to find people to work with, to advertise with directly, because they're not putting themselves in a network of any kind. There's no middleman. And they usually offer a much better and higher quality of lead when it comes to this type of industry. Okay. Now, speaking of high quality of leads, just a quick heads up, here's a few different solo ad vendors that I recommend that you stay away from. So you just want to avoid the headache, stay away from these vendors as they are easy to search for and find online. And I've just seen a lot of statistics and results come from these vendors, which may look good on the front end, but on the back end, they're just horrible. So stay away from 7daysbuyer.com, $10soloads.com, extremeleadsprogram.com, and in general, just stay away from places that offer thousands or millions of click for super, super cheap. You know, that's an automatic red flag that says, hey, get 10,000 clicks for $50, right? It's an automatic red flag that their traffic is probably just going to be very, very low quality. You're not going to get much results from it. And yeah, it's cheap and you get a lot of clicks, but if it doesn't convert and it doesn't give you any results, it's just a waste of money, right? So just a few things to stay away from there. All right, so lastly, I want to talk about, tracking overview. This is just a quick introduction. I mentioned this earlier in the training. Before you buy any solo ad traffic, you want to make sure that you set up click and conversion tracking so you can properly track how many clicks you're receiving from these vendors, where it's coming from, which vendor it's coming from, and how they're converting, meaning how many people are opting into your website. And I did a previously recorded video on how to track clicks and conversions for capture pages. I'll also include that video in the description below. It might show up here on the screen somewhere as well, but watch this video. This is not a video for tracking and conversions and showing you how to do this. I have a dedicated video that shows you how to do that and to get that set up. So watch that one to make sure that you be able to track things appropriately. I personally use a company called ClickMagick for all of my tracking that I do online. There is a free trial here at this website. It's just CM for clickmagick.howtowithevan.com. I'll also have a link in the description below if you want to check them out and start a free trial. But you'll just basically want to set up a unique tracking link for each vendor, each ad, each campaign that you're doing to properly know and track where your sales and stats are coming from, especially if you're doing any kind of paid advertising. So some quick final thoughts before we end. I know this is a longer training, but all important information. But final thoughts, traffic is not created equal, okay? You could be going through, the Udemy site. They have hundreds of different vendors on there. You can get traffic from several different vendors, and they're all going to get you a different result. So sometimes you may need to sift through and find and test different vendors out to find one that works really well initially with your offer, and then optimize from there. But you want to also become a student and a master of getting traffic. And if you're focusing on solo ad traffic specifically, become a student and master of solo ad traffic and learn all that you can about solo ads and master it, before you move on to anything else. And this is where focus comes in. FOCUS. Follow one course until successful, right? And I say that because I've worked with hundreds of other people and clients and students over the years, and I see too often where maybe they go to Udemy and they buy a solo ad or two, and it doesn't give them the result that they were expecting. So they think it doesn't work. So then they go to another source and buy an ad or two, and it does the same thing. And then they go to another source. They just keep bouncing from place to place to place, when in reality, if they stick around long enough and master that traffic source and become a student of it and learn all that they can and stick with it long enough to make it work, then it will, right? It doesn't happen automatically. When you start running traffic, you're going to have to test things out, and it might take a few different tests, several different tests, before you hit the right formula, right? So just keep that in mind. Focus, follow one course until successful, and hopefully throughout this training for how to use solo ads, I've provided some helpful and useful information for you to start this process and learn even more, and if you're going to be using solo ads for this. So here is your assignment. If you are a beginner to using solo ads to get traffic to your capture pages and marketing pages, start with Udemy. It's, just to get a feel for it. It's the easiest one to use. You can, like we demonstrated, you can search for and find different vendors. It's really easy to buy a couple hundred clicks, send them your link, and just test it out. But feel free to use directories and direct buy methods as well, as we taught here. But the important thing is to take action, right? Learning and understanding, how all this, works is one thing, but actually taking what you learn and actually applying it into your business, that's what's going to get you the results. So take action, go to one of these places, find a solo ad vendor that you want to work with, and start that process and take that action and pull the trigger to order traffic for your business. That's how you're going to get the results. All right, so I hope you found this great and helpful, and it's going to help you in your business in some way. Feel free to leave a comment below. Subscribe if you're not already. Give this a thumbs up. Share it with your friends if you want to. But more importantly, check out the links in the description below for everything that we talked about in this video. And then we'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.